Good morning or good afternoon if you are joining me later in the day. Today we're going over taking your plan for your biome, which was this piece of paper, and you are going to turn this into a good quality final project. Now, this final project is going to be a test grade. As you can see, this paper is larger than your regular paper that you received. So you are going to be using the whole paper. For today, I'm going to be referring to this paper as the composition. So we want to think about the entire page, side to side, top to bottom, corner to corner. The whole thing will be shaded using pencil. So we are not doing this piece in color. We want to do a black and white version of that landscape, and we want to include the landscape itself, that biome in that specific region, aka continent, and we want to include some fauna, animals, and some flora that is found in that specific region. So I am highlighting a student today. I wanted to use a student example actually and draw it based off of their plan. Your little paper here should have enough information that if someone else were to take it, you'd be able to use that and make a drawing off of it. So obviously these are your notes for your piece, but I wanted you to see how a successful plan can yield a good result here. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to make sure that that is off to the side. That way my camera does not focus on that paper. I am going to have this off to the side though on this area because we want to start with planning out the landscape features in that biome, and then we will plug in some animals and plants. Now, for one moment, I want to go over something. If you have 3 animals and maybe one of them doesn't really make sense for the landscape that you're doing, maybe you'd have a really hard time making it look natural, you could just focus on 2. So if I want to focus on the little prairie dog and the fox here, I could really focus in on those 2 animals if I wanted to. If all 3 of them make sense and could add some variety to your piece, that's fine. You may want to stick with both of your flora though. So Carly is our artist who is being highlighted today. She is doing the desert in the North American continent. So let's go ahead and start sketching this out. Now, I do need to let you know, I am not going to do a fully finished shaded 12 by 16 piece for you today because that would take hours and hours, and I want you to have more time to work. So I'm going to sketch things out, and I'm just going to show you placement. So for this, I want to lightly sketch in what's known as the horizon line, where the sun would dip behind that line and the moon would rise. So that horizon line might have things like mountains blocking it, or it could be very flat. So since this is the desert, it looks like Carly has chosen a flat area. And I'm just taking my pencil and lightly sketching that in. I want to give it just a little variety here. I don't want it to be like a completely straight line. There are curves in nature, so we don't have a lot of things that are perfectly straight. So just keep that in mind. You realistically won't be getting a ruler from me for this project. So it looks like Carly has included a type of tree and a cactus in here. So we got a good mix of flora involved. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to start sketching out that cactus. And I actually want to stretch this cactus. You can make changes. If you're like, I feel like the cactus might need another little arm here. You can always make changes as you see fit. I'm not going to do the detail on this cactus yet. I'm just kind of planning it out, sketching out where it needs to go, and then I can do detail later. And as you can see, I'm drawing through my horizon line. And then I want to just quickly take my eraser and erase that horizon line. If you are drawing dark, you gotta lighten it up, y'all. Throughout the year, you're going to have to use that technique of lightening up your lines. That way you can make changes. Being able to erase is being able to edit, being able to change things. That is not horribly. Y'all, it's the morning. It's the morning. It's extremely important that you're able to make changes and that you're able to really be successful here. Now, Carly, I'm not zogging on you, but this tree, I'm going to set it a little bit farther back. If everything's kind of on a similar line, you may want to break that up just a little bit. Again, love your piece. That's why I chose it. But I want to create a sense of space. Space is the feeling where it looks like you could walk in to your piece. So I want to create a sense of space by making some objects farther back. So this tree, I'm going to make this farther back. And I love that you have it coming off of the edge. That looks so great. Maybe I'll make another one a little bit farther back and have it coming off the edge. Because I wanted to set this one just about here. And as you can see, I'm using those light, sketchy lines to get the overall shape and size and placement. Just gonna kind of do that. You're seeing me sketch live, by the way. This isn't sped up or anything. I kind of speed draw for these. So if you're not drawing as fast as I am, please don't. I'm just trying to get you through the demo in a nice, timely manner. So I like the way that tree is looking. I'm going to add a little bit back there. And then I want to add one like off to the distance. I love the idea of having like a little duo. And maybe this one's kind of coming off the edge. Again, I'm going to erase that horizon line. And then I'm going to check to see if she has any other flora. And you know what? These are her 2 flora that she has in there. If you did not plug in your flora into here, that is fine. Make sure that you're referring to the flora and plugging it in to your landscape. I kind of want this cactus to really be the star. I'm not actually going to add in another cactus. I think that this one is good. And you know what? Carly has reminded me, I don't draw a lot of cactus, y'all, that this arm has a little bit of a bend in it. So I'm going to reassess, make changes as I see fit. And I'm still not doing a ton of detail. I'm just trying to get those shapes. Yeah, so that looks a little more cactusy. Humility is great in art, y'all, because being able to own up to things that you don't know or things that you need to change is just such an important part of this process. I love that she's included a little scorpion here. I do want to incorporate that guy later, but I think I might have him like off to the corner. You want to think about your composition as a whole. If this part seems a little sparse, maybe I need to fill that in. So if we have bald patches, I'll call them, and we don't have the eye traveling to that area, I want to think about how to utilize that space, how to use that space for my piece. So I'm just kind of sketching out this little guy. Okay, he looks kind of like a lizard. But you know what? I'll add his detail later. And you know what? You know what I think would be kind of funny? I think I want my fox hunting this scorpion. So I'm going to draw in that fox. And I want him to be hunting that scorpion. I feel like he looks like he's in a little bit of like a hunting pose here. I'm going to just bring his leg up though. And I'm going to add him in because he's hunting that scorpion. Honestly, this fox kind of looks like my cat. I love him. Adorable. I hope y'all are having a great day. It is a Wednesday today as I'm filming this. Yes, I'm filming this on the day you're doing it. But you know what? I like providing fresh information for y'all. Because y'all know I change my mind a lot on what you're doing and how you're doing it and how I want to present information. So I like to just give you the freshest version in my mind. All right. So this guy, he's going to be hunting that little scorpion. And you know what? I love y'all. If that ain't me looking for a snack, okay? That little guy is so cute. I want that little meerkat like looking off into the distance back here. Like, oh, what's going on? Is there trouble on the horizon? I don't know. So I'm going to have that little meerkat hanging out back here. I love him. So first order of business, get your landscape sketched out. The back part of your page, plug it in, make sure you're drawing nice and light and sketchy. That way you can erase and make changes. Then you want to plug in your fauna, your flora. We were talking about humility, right? Like give yourself some grace and space if you make a mistake. So the flora, you're going to plug that in. I plugged in these trees. I plugged in this cactus. And then you're going to go through the fauna, the animals. And then you're going to plug those in a way that makes sense in your biome. Obviously, there's some details that I want to add. Love the little dust thing. What is that called? Dust mite? Dust devil? Tumbleweed. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I need to read more like Old West, Wild West books. I read too much like British novels. So we've got that going on. We've got our little dust, our tumbleweed. I want to add that guy in. I'll want to add in details for the grass and all of that good stuff. But I will provide y'all with another demonstration on how to start the shading bit on this. Your order of business is to really focus in on plugging everything into this piece, making sure everything is activated. Your eye has somewhere to go for the whole composition. And then we will work on shading a little bit later. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in class. Bye for now.